But let's transition to like your guys' favorite topic is
Uh,
the Houston Rockets. I'll let you guys take the wheel on
hitting,
this one.
hitting the rocket segments. Uh, yeah, I think the first point made here is that Jalen Green's shooting has been pretty inconsistent and
Not inconsistent. It's been awful lately, bro.
awful. Yeah, yeah. I
I
mean, I
mean,
feel he can get hot every once in a while, but more
no,
often than not.
he hasn't even been getting hot lately. It's
Mhm.
like he's been shooting 25% last like 10 games or some shit from three.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I'm way far away from calling Jalen Green a bust because like he still has the athletic ability. He jumps up high. He catches lobs. Like so.
I don't think he's a bust, but it's like
Mhm.
I'm worried his ceiling would be like a Jordan Clarkson, Zach Levine type player.
Oh,
Like we just talked about Levine, like your scorer. Like
mhm,
Jalen's nowhere near Zach Levine. Levine's like a still an elite shooter,
mhm.
but yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm worried about.
it's it is worrisome because like as you saying, he has been kind of like a pro long time. Like I know he had his struggles last season, but the second half he kind of like showed major improvements, hitting his shots. It's just it is worrisome that hopefully he can fix his shot.
Yeah, he just needs to find his touch again.
Yeah, which I hope so because like he if the Rockets are gonna invest on making him a cornerstone piece, then you want to make sure that he is that guy, you know. And that's just gonna depend on this upcoming draft because as you said, this is a deep draft coming in next season, and you obviously want to when on a rebuild you want to prioritize your cornerstone piece, right? If Jalen Green is not that guy, then maybe the Rockets put their effort in developing like Scoot, for example, in case we get the second pick. You know, you make that
Yeah.
your primary player that you invest and develop.
Nah, I
Uh,
feel like no one on this team is safe. Like everyone's replaceable. It's just
mhm.
like speaking of cornerstones, the Rockets treat Kevin Porter Jr. as the cornerstone of the franchise when he's clearly like the sixth man at best. It, like he's
But I
leading the
mean,
league in turnovers. He's 22nd or like even below in assists.
mhm,
And like I feel like they bend over their back to like appease him because they know like he might burst out at any moment, like cause a scene. I feel like
mhm.
that's been the MO for like the last couple of years with him. But
Yeah. I mean, I still think that he is our best point guard currently on a roster, like right now with the current roster.
I
I think
mean,
he is the best
I
point
feel
guard.
like passing wise, Ty and even Knicks might be better than him. It's just
Mhm,
like he has the rock. They like force him to like be a point guard. And he's trying
mhm,
to. That's why he has the ball all the time in his hands. He's a good pass. Like he makes some good passes, but like
mhm.
I don't think he has a feel for the game as a point guard.
I,
And that's like
I mean, keep in
the
mind
big
that
thing.
this is his second season, and apparently he barely reached like I think this past week a full season of like play time. You know, because I think he was his first season in the league. I'm not sure
No,
if he was injured or
it's like two
something.
full seasons, but
Oh,
still
two
like
full seasons, yeah.
like developing a feel as a point guard, like having that point guard instinct. It's like
Mhm.
it's not easy to develop. Like they can like how much time are they going to spend doing that? Like
I mean,
they sat John Wall for like a year
yeah.
just so he could learn that. Paid him
I,
$40 million to do nothing, and then same thing this year.
he is on the clock in terms of like solidifying that he is the point guard for the team. Because if you think about it, like hypothetically, I do want us to get the first pick, but the second pick on the upcoming draft is Scoot, who is a point guard, right? So he's obviously going to be put at the number one
Yeah, and then
position.
KPJ is a six man in my opinion. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. I think his ceiling is a six man, and like even if we don't get Scoot,
Mhm.
there's another like point guard who's 6'7". I
Mhm.
think Asar Thompson, one of the
Mhm.
Thompson twins.
Yeah,
I think has a better feel as a point guard than KPJ.
but you also mentioned that you still think that for example, I mean, I don't think Nix is going to be on the roster next season, but I still think Tai is going to be on
Hey,
the
we
roster.
know the Rockets front office like loves that man. Even though he played his best game of his career last game,
I
they
mean, he
like
did
love
play
that
for real.
man, and they
So
value him as a lottery talent. So, I don't know.
that's my thing. As a backup point guard, it makes more sense that you may put Tai if he has a better feel as a point guard position. So do you move KPJ because apparently he is on a higher stat wise. He is one of the best leagues catch and shoot threes. So maybe they move him at the 2, maybe.
But he is, but in his like mindset, he likes jacking up like terrible shots,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something they haven't been able to get out of him. He does that every game.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know.
It's tricky. It's tricky because KPJ is going to be the odd man out next season if he doesn't figure it out.
I mean, his
Whether
contract is they can just like not pick up his option next year. He'll be a free
Mhm.
agent. So that
Yeah.
sense, like I feel like he's gonna be. I've been saying he's gonna be a 6 man. I feel like he's gonna be a 6 man, and we'll see how he reacts. I don't think he's gonna react to it well. If they take the, that's another thing where I think like they treat him like a baby,
Mm-hmm.
and like they like bend over their backs to like do whatever he wants to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
when he loses that starting point guard job, it's gonna be like a whole locker room like toxic BS. There's gonna be like a storm coming.
Yeah, because I mean, just like the Rockets itself, we're pretty stacked in guards, I guess, and like.
No, we say that, but actually we're not stacked at guards at all because
Oh,
everyone's
you
like
think so?
replaceable. Everyone's
Mhm.
replaceable.
Like
Knicks,
your opinion,
like
who's safe? Who's safe right now?
maybe Jalen Green at the guard position. Jalen Green, maybe that's like the because you invested so much in him. He still has a shit ton of potential. But like
Mm-hmm.
Ty, I feel like he's already a better point guard than KPJ. But KPJ is like an overall better player at this point.
I mean, I think it's still a small sample size. He had some valuable minutes for 2 games right now. I would want to see from Tata is a little bit more aggressive on the scoring wise because I think he's a
I mean,
lot
he
more
played like
passive.
4 minutes. 4 minutes last game. He scored 9 points. It's just
Mm-hmm.
he knows his opportunity. I saw a Rocket tweet from like someone on Rockets Twitter. It's like
Mm-hmm.
whenever a Rockets player knows they're about to be subbed out, they start jacking up shots because they know they
Mm-hmm.
won't get another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these guys get so limited minutes, like Tai, like they're like so focused on not making a mistake that they just can't play their game. Because Silas's
Yeah.
rotations, he plays 3 centers, like random, like he plays three point guards sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And like once Tate is back, and if they say they're going to trade Aaron Gordon this year, but we'll see. They've been saying that for the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And if Tate comes back, it's going to be a bigger logjam. And like KJ Martin, if he doesn't start, he's going to leave.
Yeah, because like there's been the reports that KJ has been a little bit like
Yeah, which
less than
is
happy with the
understandable because
minutes.
he should be starting.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gordon should not be starting. Aaron Gordon
Yeah.
should come off the bench.
Yeah, because I think he's averaging right now like 24 minutes a night or something like that. But it's inconsistent because some nights he won't hit those 20-minute marks. And he does deserve to start. It's just the problem is that we do have Eric Gordon on our roster, and there's been reports of that there's multiple teams interested in Eric Gordon, but again they want to package KJ Martin with
Right now,
Gordon.
the backers should be Ty, Eric Gordon, Tari, maybe either Tate comes back or like Bruno or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That should be the backup. Or like switch KPJ, like in the future, KPJ, Tari, like Ty. You can play KPJ and Ty together. Tari, Tate, and like somebody else. But
I mean, any position that the KPJ gets moved is not going to happen this season.
No, I'm just like I'm telling you right now. Like if he gets demoted, like even if they draft like Scoot or somebody, they're gonna say, "Oh, KPJ is still the starting point guard." If they bring him back, there's gonna be a whole thing. They're just gonna waste a lot of time, and it's gonna be a mess once he loses that job.
It's gonna be interesting to see how he takes it, just because
I don't think he's gonna take it well. Everything we've seen from him, he's on like right now. Everything's good. He's the starting point guard. He can jack up as many shots as you want. He knows he's not losing his job, and like everything's good. All the teammates are his best friends and all that shit. But we'll see when shit starts happening, when there's like actual consequences, especially with this front office. Like Raphael Stone, you built a bad team. Like I know they're young, but like you built a bad team. Where we might have the worst record for like three years in a row. Like if he doesn't, like I don't care if you nail like a draft pick here and there. If you don't get it together, you're done.
I mean, we have to get it together this season or this draft. Like we have to nail it just because we don't own our picks starting next season.
Yeah. OKC has their future for the next couple years.
And the fact that we're on the same conference as OKC, it just doesn't
benefit us. Who also have a young ass roster, who actually have a system, who have the 12th ranked defense, who actually play defense, who actually have a superstar in SGA.
And the fact that we haven't even seen OKC at full strength because Chet is out for
Chet might be like the best player in this draft. He hasn't even played. And
Yes.
imagine if they get Chet and Wemby or like Chet or like
Yeah.
Scoot next year.
Yeah. Good luck shooting. A lot of shooting over them. Yeah, so it's
Imagine like SGA, Scoot, Giddy, Chet, or like
mhm.
one of the little Williams. But yeah, yeah, that's all I want to talk about the Rockets. Like, I'm not optimistic. You know my stance on the coaching staff. I'm
Mhm.
not. I don't like them at all. And like now, I'm like turning my the front office. Like I'm like pessimistic about them. Like this is the
Yeah.
off season for them to get it together. There's
Yeah.
reports like
And like I think with Silas, I think he only has I'm not sure how coaches' contracts are worked in the NBA, but I think he has another guarantee year or something like that.
I mean, if they want him gone, Fox is gone. Like
Uh,
coaching contracts aren't that big. And then
mhm.
there were reports from like Tim McMahon, who's like a big plugged in Rockets like Southwest NBA division source. He's like,
Mhm.
don't be surprised if James Harden comes back this offseason. And
Oh,
if they
really?
give Harden I know Harden's like a franchise legend, and he's the
Mhm.
actual point guard. And if he comes back, KPJ's gone to the bench for sure. But
Mhm.
if, if they like sign Harden to a max or a near max contract, like burn this franchise to the ground. Like how
No, that's
stupid are you?
no, that's just gonna burden like the future contracts because like we finally have the cap space, right? And I know you said that Stone built a pretty bad team. I think the talent is there. It's just
No, like
finding a way to
maybe
click it.
the talent might not even be there. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Like we don't know if Jalen like fixes his shooting woes.
Mhm.
Like last year he was terrible in the first half. He was decent in the second half. This year he
Mhm.
started okay, and now he's one of the worst shooters in the league.
Mhm.
Jabari is one of the worst shooters in the league. Like
Yeah. Wait, are you sure that Jabari is one of the worst shooters? I thought he like most
he's
like recently he fixed his shot. His three has been like
we'll see,
hitting at
but he's still shooting 31% from three, bro. He's still
1%.
one of the worst shooters in the league, especially with people
Mhm.
who've taken over 200 attempts or
Yeah,
like jump
I'll take a
shots and
look
stuff.
at like a more recent sample size, maybe like the last 10 games or something, just because it feels
Jabari
like
has some of the most open threes in the league,
mhm.
spot up wise, and he's shooting like one of the worst percentages.
I mean, at the beginning of
Uh,
the season, he was very passive with his threes. He was really hesitant. I was like, he should definitely take those. But
and
I
then
guess that
like
just takes us. Oh, sorry, I
uh,
was gonna say that takes us to the last bullet point here is just with the upcoming draft. Do you draft for fit or do you draft for talent? Like with the current Rockers, like roster that we have right now.
uh, it's always about talent because we have no fit on this roster. This team has
Mm-hmm.
no identity. This is like we don't know what we do. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
saw like some of the game last game against the Spurs. We're
Mm-hmm.
running plays where like guys are running against each other. They don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like Salas is not he like before this season started. There's all this talk about like we're gonna finally he can implement his full offensive vision in his system.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen, and like it's just like a bunch of shit. Like the team just looks like it's playing pickup ball out there, which might have
Mm-hmm.
worked with Harden because Harden's Harden. He's
Mm-hmm.
good enough where he can get away with that. But these guys are bums. Like you can't do
Damn,
that
right.
shit. And like I get emails every week, like when the Rockets go on like a 2 game winning streak. It was like, come
Mm-hmm.
out to the Rockets game. Team's exciting. It's like nobody wants to see KPJ like shoot a contested like step back three and where he breaks it, or like Jalen like break a wide open three, or Jabari like lose the ball like in a mid fast
Yeah,
break, or
yeah,
like or Şengün like balling out and then
Oh
they
my
take him
god.
out, not playing the rest of the game.
yeah, did not hold back.
And then
I
and then
know.
like see the IG post after the game where like Jalen posts a picture of himself after like a 20-point loss, and KPJ like comments twin or like some stupid ass bullshit like that.
Bro.
Like 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 the guys might like each other, but they all suck together. Like I guess
Mhm.
if you want that as your franchise, then go like Ty Washington. He did like an IG live today, and like
Mhm.
someone said, "Y'all doing a masterful job of tanking," and like Ty was sad because these guys are actually trying to win games, and
Mhm.
and it's also sad because they're so bad. But
Yeah, yeah, and that's my thing. Like for like in the eyes of these players, there's no such thing as a good loss. To them, it's a loss, and like you get pretty tired of that pretty quickly. After a second season of a disappointment, like players are gonna want out when they see that this if they don't have a clear direction of where this team is going, then they're like, what's the point? You know, like we already see it with KJ Martin.
Like fans, we don't even know what direction this team is going, bro. Like, I don't know what they're doing.
Like the fact that we're debating whether KPJ is going to be like a bona fide point guard, like starting point guard, the backup 6-man at the point guard, or maybe he's going to go to the 2. Is KJ happy enough here? Is he happy with his current minutes? Should we play him more? Are we even training Everett Gordon? There's a lot of what ifs, and the fact that we don't have a clear direction is worrisome, especially since this is our last season that we should be tanking. After that, you know, like the clock is ticking. You know,
I'm telling you, if we don't get like, I don't know, if we don't get like a top 4 pick, or look, not even that, if we don't get a top 2 pick, and then re-sign KPJ, or like to pick up his option, and they keep Silas, like this whole fan base is gonna tear itself apart. They're already doing it like every week. I don't want to be edited out, so I'm not gonna say anything else. But, yeah. I said all I need to say.
I don't believe me. They are fed up too, man. They're just not disappointed. They're fed up with the coaching, with the fact that we lost to the Spurs just because
we lost to the Spurs twice. And they didn't even have their best player this time, bro. We got blown out.
Yeah, I think they were missing three starters.
We come out at halftime, and then halftime when we like get outscored by like 20 points or some shit.
Yeah, we
what are they doing at halftime, bro? Like, what are they doing at halftime?
Yeah, the fact that when the Rockets go up against a 3-2 zone, or 2-3 maybe, 2-3 zone, they don't know how to break that.
Bro, teams can play a 0-0 zone on the Rockets and have nobody on the court, and these motherfuckers will still not score. That's how bad they are, bro.
Yeah, honestly, that should be an emphasis on practice, just because like when they're being played man to man, they do pretty well because I mean they run ISOs and they run by their man and they can outmatch their guy. But when they're going against a zone defense, they just fall apart, and that's something I don't get. Like this is something that y'all should be working on by now. Like that
all
should
I'm
be.
Gonna say is thank God the Astros won the World Series because this city is garbage in sports. It's a garbage sports city, bro.
I mean, Texans are not looking good. The Rockets are. I got us a bit worried, but it looks like the Astros are still in it. They're still going to be a major card for next year. So
yeah, they re-signed Brindley.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a Dynamo. I'm not sure what's going on with them, but
who?
Pretty much, right? But yeah,
I think that's it.
Yeah, that's the wrap up the Rockets segment, and I think that's.
How did we go over an hour this week, bro? I'm gonna stop.
Bro, y'all talked for like 15 minutes straight about straight Rockets. That was the longest segment we had this whole podcast.
He's cut me off like 3 minutes in. I don't want to talk about the Rockets.
Once y'all start, y'all can't stop. It's funny because y'all are two ends of the spectrum when it comes to like the Rockets and how they should be handled. Same as like over here. And then, I mean, like over here.
I mean,
y'all agree on a few things. Y'all agree on a few things, but like you'll say one thing and then like Bilal's like, oh hell no, and be on the other side of it.
I mean, I think this has been one of the weeks of like Rocket segment that me and Bilal I see a little bit more eye to eye in terms of
for sure
what's gonna go on with the Rockets. It's just I had higher expectations for the Rockets starting this season, and it's a bit disappointing. It's worrisome actually that we're looking this bad after like having a full season with these players and the direction, the coaching, but we'll see.